Hello student, today I have brought a video on the chapter 9 topic force and law of motion, and the topic is force and effect of force. Force is not seen by us, but its effect may be observed by us. So we discuss about what are the effect of force, but the force is not visible itself. Only the effect of force is perceived by us. So we describe about the force, its effect, and what types of force we'll discuss in this video. Now, introduction of force is that pushing or pulling is a force, and when we push or pull any object, it produces some effect. That is summarized here. A force can stop a moving body. It can move a stationary body. It can change the speed of a moving body. That means slow down a speed, and it also increase the speed. That is the change of speed of a moving body. It change the direction of a moving body and change the shape and size of a configuration of a body. That are the effect of force, but the force is not visible itself. That are the effect of force. We one by one discuss in detail the effect of force in this next slide. Here, a force can stop a moving body. Here, the ball is coming from a player, and the goalkeeper catches the ball by applying a force. Now, due to the force, effect of force, ball is stopped by the goalkeeper. Here, a footballer stops the moving ball and catch the moving by applying a force, and the moving ball is stopped, so that a force can stop a moving body. Next effect of the force is described here. A force can move a stationary body. Here, when the car is break down some way and a man is pushing backside, the stationary car move forward direction. Here, a cart pushed by a lever, cart puller, it moves forward or backward. That is so that the force can move a stationary object. It can stand that the body at rest can be moved due to the effect of force. Now, next slide. Another effect is that a force can change the speed of a body. You see, speed of a body means that it can slow down the speed, it can increase the speed. That is the change of speed. Here, a cyclist uses a bigger force to pedal his bicycle and increase his speed. The bicycle is moving in some speed, but if the rider want to increase his speed, they apply a force on the pedal so that the cycle moves with greater speed. Here, a boy is rolling a tire. If he repeatedly apply a force, the motion of the speed of the tire is increases. It is happened due to the applying a force. It is applied by the force applied on the pedal, and consequently the bicycle is moved with the greater speed. And here applied by the stick, apply the tire, force applied by the stick on the tire, so that tire moves in greater speed. That is given, the force can change the speed of the body. Now look here. In the next slide, we'll discuss about the force can change the direction of a moving body. When ball is coming from the bowler, the batsman hit the ball and it moves the ball in another direction. That is the change of direction. The bowler hit the ball, applied a force on the ball, and turn the ball and move the ball in other direction. That is happened due to the applying force. Here, the shuttle ball of a badminton's racket apply a force on the shuttle, and the direction of the shuttle is changed by applying the force with the player with the help of rackets. That shows the force can change the direction of a moving body. Now these are the effect of force. In this example, if we discuss about that the motion, that the force produce an acceleration of a body. Acceleration means it can stop a moving body, it can produce some motion in a body, force, that it can change the direction of a body, a moving body. All this may be summarized as it produce a acceleration in a body. Now, look here. Again, the another type of effect of force is like that. Here, it can change the shape and size of a body. When force is applied on ball, it deforms their shape and the shape is changed. Here, due to the applying force, the container is deformed and its size and shape is changed. That is the effect of force we discussed here. In the next, four effect is related to motion of a body. It is related to acceleration. When force is applied in a body, it produces acceleration. It can stop the object, moving object. It can move a stationary object. It can change the direction of it. It can increase the speed of that. That is summarized as it can produce acceleration in a body. That is given on the basis of the description. We can define the force like that. A force can create acceleration in a body or change the shape and size of a body. Now, first we discuss about the type of force. There are two types of force: contact force and non-contact force. Contact force is muscular force and flexural force are the example of contact force. And the contact force is that force that act when two objects are physically in contact. When the two interact each other, the force may be applied. When the contact force is applied, the body on which the force is applied must become in the physical contact each other, and these types of force is known as contact force, muscular force, frictional force. These types of push and pull, these type of forces are contact force. Now another type of force is that non-contact force, a force that acts at a distance without a physical contact. Without a physical contact is non-contact force. Here, these are the non-contact example. Non-contact force: the apples or the fruits fall down on the ground due to the action of gravitational force. The force is acting at a distance on the apple, and the apple is fall down on the ground due to the influence of gravitational force. Here, it is the other types of force which is also non-contact force. In this force, magnetic force, magnetic substance is attracted by a magnet, and the force of lines acted at a distance, and the magnetic substance is attracted towards the magnet. It is also non-contact force. And when a scale like plastic scale is rubbed with the hair and it brought near the bits of paper is attracted towards the scale, that shows the electrical force produced by the friction. Now, we discuss these things, and next slide we discuss about the presentation of force. Force is a vector quantity. It must have magnitude of direction, and it is represented by a straight line. It is a straight line represented by a straight line with arrowhead. It is the straight line with arrowhead. Arrowhead represent the direction of a force, and the length of here the arrowhead direction of the force, and the length of the line segment gives the represent the magnitude. The 3 newtons of force, so the small line segment represented. Here the 5 newton of force, so it represents the length of represented by the greater length of the line segment. And arrowhead show the direction. It is the force you applying in the east direction, and the force is applied in the west direction. Here 4 newtons of force is applying on a body in the east direction, and here 3 newton of force is applying on body in the east direction. But the direction is two side, north side, it is east side and west side, and the magnitude is represented by the length of line segment. So a force can be represented by line segment with arrowhead, and the length of line segment represent the magnitude of the force, and arrowhead indicate the direction. Okay, now in the next slide we discuss about the precise definition of the force on the basis of example. Here, force is a physical cause. It is a physical cause which produces acceleration. Acceleration, that means it can increase the speed of an object, it can change the direction of an object, it can stop the moving object, it can move a stationary object. That are summarized in a word that's known as acceleration. Now, in a body in which it acts and change the configuration of the body, that is, configuration means shape of the body can be changed by applying force. So that we two facts of force may be summarized at the force can produce acceleration in a body, moving body or any body. If the body is rest or moving, it can change the acceleration, or it can change the configuration of a body. That is the effect of force. Now we will discuss next slide, that is the balance and unbalanced force. Balance and unbalanced force defined as if a set of force acting on a body, some force are acting in a body and produce no acceleration, zero acceleration, the body does not move. If a set of force acting on a body produce no acceleration, there is no change in the velocity of the object, speed of the object. In it, the forces acting on it is said to be balanced force. The set of forces is said to be balanced force. If it produces a non-zero acceleration, it produces a considerable acceleration in a body, this force that acting on a body, this force are said to be unbalanced force. Here the play of rock pulling. Here Here 300 Newton of force applied by the players in the west direction, and 300 Newton of force applied by the 3 boys in the west direction. These forces are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. The magnitude of the force is equal, here equal, and here direction is opposite. Then here the resultant force, that resultant force is 0, and there is no acceleration on the acting on it, on the player. No players move from each other. That means so there is zero acceleration. So such types of force is known as balance force. But here 400 newtons of force is acted by these players, and 300 newtons of force is acted by the player. This force is greater than this force. So the 3 boys moves towards the west direction due to the resultant greater force. Now I am discussing about the resultant force. The definition of resultant force is like that: if a single force acting on a body if the single force acting on a body produces the same acceleration as produced by a number of force, when the number of force acting on the body produce the same acceleration as a single force produced on the body, same acceleration, then the single force is said to be called the resultant force of this individual force. Here, the resultant force is shown here when the flight of aeroplane is shown. Which types of force is acting on the aeroplane? Here, first force is acting in downward direction by the weight of the aeroplane, and it is exerted by the gravity of the earth. Now, the force applied by the aeroplane in upward direction that lifts the aeroplane above the ground, and one force is due to the fins of moving of fins, dragging force is applied in the backward direction, and due to the reaction force, the aeroplane moves forward due to the thrust, and here the thrust is the resultant force due to which the aeroplane moves forward direction due to the thrust, resultant thrust. These are the forces, and the resultant force, the moving of a aeroplane forward direction, is the resultant force, and the several forces acting in it. That is given in the figure. Now, I am going to discuss about very important experiment conducted by Galileo that show what is the meaning of inertia and law of motion that formulated by the Newtons based on this experiment. Galileo's experiment is that here Galileo make an inclined plane. Here the one plane is in this direction, inclines in this direction, and a ball is rolled from this point. The ball is rolling down, and after coming at the ground, it again moves up on this inclined plane and reaches the same height. Here, the ball is started from and achieved the same height. When the inclination is reduced, the ball covers a longer distance as compared to this steeply inclination. When the ball is rolled and the inclination of the one side is fixed, but the inclination other side is reduces one by one successively, and the ball is moved the more distance. When the inclination becomes completely zero, that is the horizontal line, then it considered that the ball will move forever, but it does not happen so due to the frictional force of the surface and the air. Ball is stopped. But it is imagine if that there is no force that acting on the ball, that it considered that when applied a force on a ball is moves forever and infinitely, so that it can achieve at that distance, but it does not happen so the ball is moved forever. That is concluded by the Galileo, and it is summarized like that here. Galileo concluded that an unbalanced external force is required to initiate the motion. When a body is moved, an unbalanced force is required, but when no unbalanced force is required to sustain the motion. When a body changes in motion, it changes its state, raised to motion, the body moves forever unless an external force is applied on it. But it does not happen so due to some frictional force, due to some obstruction of air, the ball or the body is stopped. But if there is no obstruction, if there is no external force, then the body is moving forever when a force applied on it. That is given it. This means that the object will move with constant speed along a straight line in the absence of external force. If there is no force, then it is moved forever in a straight line when once he applied a force on it. That is given by the concept of the Galileo, and this concept is taken by the Newton and formulated three important laws known as Newton's law of motion that we will discuss here. Now, Newton's first law of motion. Newton further studied the Galileo's idea on the force and motion and presented the three fundamental laws that govern the motion of these three laws known as Newton's laws of motion. The first law of motion is stated as here. An object remains in a state of rest or of uniform motion in straight line. There are two states of the object, a natural state or two states. But it was earlier concept there is only one natural state is rest. But according to Galileo, there are two states of object, a state of rest and a state of uniform motion in straight line. There are two states of the object. Now, if object remain in the state of rest of uniform motion in a straight line unless compelled to change that state by an applied force, that by an external force. When the external force applied, then the state of the body is changed, whether it is in a rest, whether it is moving in uniform motion in a straight line. The change of the state must require an external force to change its state. That law is known as the first law of motion. In the next law, we discuss about the inertia. That inertia is explained by the first law of motion. The first law of motion is the explanation of inertia. What is inertia? We will discuss about. The natural tendency of an object to resist the change in their state. That is the natural tendency. Whenever the body at the rest or uniform motion in a straight line, that state is known as inertia. It is possessed by the body due to its mass. When a massive body is at rest, it cannot move easily. When a massive body is in uniform motion, it cannot stop easily. So, it is the natural tendency of the body to persist in their state of rest or state of uniform motion in the straight line. That's known as inertia. The mass of an object, the mass is responsible for the inertia, so that we can, mass of a body is a measure of inertia. SI unit of inertia is Newton, kilogram. And we can say mass is the measure of inertia, means that a body with a heavier mass, a body with a greater mass have more inertia than a body with a lighter mass. A body of higher mass possesses more inertia than that of a lighter body. Thus, the first law of motion is also known as the law of inertia. The first law of motion explains the law of inertia. Now, we will discuss about the next slide, type of inertia, known as rest of inertia, direction of inertia, motion of inertia. It will be discussed in the next video. Now, I am going to stop the video. Next video will discuss more about the second law of motion and the types of inertia. Thank you very much.